Did you know that just a handful of industries are responsible for making 70% of billionaires in the world? Yes, that's right. And the reason why these industries are so profitable is because they share a few common things that the insanely rich are well aware of. So, why not increase your chances to become one of them by watching this video? Here are 10 industries that make billionaires. These industries have 3 key characteristics. They solve massive problems, they scale globally, and they create barriers that keep competitors out. Every single billionaire you can think of built their fortune in one of these sectors. Jeff Bezos with e-commerce, Elon Musk with electric vehicles and space, Bill Gates with tech. They all followed the same playbook. The secret isn't just picking the right industry, it's understanding why these industries create so much wealth, and how you can position yourself to capture that value. Some of these industries are brand new, others have been around for decades but are being completely transformed by technology. Space is the ultimate billionaire maker right now. Elon Musk built SpaceX into a $140 billion company. Jeff Bezos poured billions into Blue Origin. Richard Branson created Virgin Galactic. Why are they all obsessed with space? The space economy is projected to hit $1 trillion by 2040. We're talking about satellite internet, space tourism, asteroid mining, and Mars colonization. SpaceX alone has revolutionized rocket technology, cutting launch costs by 90%. They went from zero to dominating the global launch market in just 20 years. Space tourism is just the beginning. Companies like SpaceX charge $55 million per seat to the International Space Station. Virgin Galactic sells suborbital flights for $450,000 each. But the real money is in infrastructure, satellites, space stations, and eventually mining operations. The barriers to entry are enormous. You need billions in capital, decades of research, and government partnerships. That's exactly why early movers become so dominant. Once you control the technology and infrastructure, competitors can't catch up. Asteroid mining could create the world's first trillionaire. A single metallic asteroid contains more platinum than has ever been mined on Earth. The company that cracks this problem first will have unlimited resources. Technology created more billionaires than any other industry. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, all tech billionaires. Why does tech create so much wealth? Software scales infinitely. Once you build a program, you can sell it to millions of people with almost zero additional cost. Microsoft Windows runs on billions of computers. Facebook serves 3 billion users. Google processes 8 billion searches daily. The marginal cost of serving each additional customer is practically zero. Tech companies also create network effects. The more people use Facebook, the more valuable it becomes to each user. The more developers build apps for iOS, the more valuable iPhones become. These network effects create winner-take-all markets where the biggest player dominates everything. Cloud computing alone created dozens of billionaires. Amazon Web Services generates $80 billion annually. Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud are close behind. Companies pay billions to rent computing power instead of building their own servers. The smartphone revolution created entire new industries. App stores, mobile gaming, social media, ride-sharing, all built on the foundation of smartphones. Apple's App Store alone generates $80 billion in annual revenue. Software as a service revolutionized business software. Companies like Salesforce, ServiceNow, and Workday charge monthly subscriptions instead of one-time purchases. This creates predictable, recurring revenue that investors love. AI is creating the next generation of billionaires right now. Sam Altman's OpenAI is valued at $157 billion. Jensen Huang built Nvidia into a $3 trillion company making AI chips. The AI revolution is just getting started. ChatGPT reached 100 million users in just 2 months, the fastest product adoption in history. OpenAI generates billions in revenue from subscriptions and API access. Every major company needs AI integration, creating massive demand for AI services. Nvidia dominates AI hardware. Their graphics cards power everything from ChatGPT to autonomous vehicles. When demand for AI exploded, Nvidia's stock price increased 1,000% in 2 years. Jensen Huang became one of the richest people on Earth. AI automation will replace millions of jobs but create trillions in value. Companies that master AI will have massive cost advantages over competitors. They'll operate with fewer employees, make fewer mistakes, and scale faster than traditional businesses. The AI infrastructure market is exploding. Companies need specialized chips, cloud computing, and software platforms to run AI systems. Whoever controls this infrastructure controls the AI economy. Data is the new oil, and AI companies are the refineries. Google, Meta, and Amazon collect massive amounts of user data that feeds their AI systems. This data becomes more valuable over time, creating sustainable competitive advantages. Real estate has honestly created more millionaires than any other investment out there, but, it also creates billionaires. Donald Trump, Stephen Ross, and Sam Zell all built their fortunes in real estate. The key, really, is scale and leverage. Commercial real estate generates these massive cash flows. Office buildings, shopping centers, and apartment complexes, they all produce monthly rent payments. Smart developers use leverage to amplify their returns, often borrowing as much as 80% of the purchase price and then using rental income to pay those mortgages. Real estate investment trusts, or REITs, totally revolutionized the industry. REITs allow regular investors to own shares of massive commercial properties. The largest REITs manage hundreds of billions in assets and pay out consistent dividends. Development, though, is where the biggest fortunes are made. Buying raw land and developing it into residential or commercial properties can generate returns of 500% or more. Sure, the risk is higher, but successful developers become extraordinarily wealthy. Location really drives everything in real estate. Properties in prime locations appreciate faster and generate higher rents. Billionaire developers focus on major cities where land is scarce and demand is constant. PropTech is now transforming real estate with technology. Companies like Zillow, Compass, and Opendoor use data and automation to streamline the whole process of buying and selling. The most successful PropTech companies are valued in the billions. E-commerce, well, it created Jeff Bezos, who was the world's richest person for years. Amazon started out just selling books online, but eventually became the everything store. Jack Ma built Alibaba into China's e-commerce giant. The internet really eliminated geographic limitations. Online marketplaces generate revenue from every transaction without actually owning inventory. Amazon takes a cut from millions of sellers. eBay charges both listing and final value fees. These platforms can scale infinitely. More sellers attract more buyers, and that creates powerful network effects. The subscription commerce model creates predictable revenue, which is huge. Companies like Dollar Shave Club and Blue Apron charge monthly fees for regular deliveries. Netflix totally revolutionized entertainment with streaming subscriptions. Cross-border e-commerce is just exploding. Shopify enables millions of small businesses to sell globally. Chinese manufacturers now sell directly to American consumers through platforms like AliExpress and Temu. E-commerce logistics has even become a separate industry. Companies like FedEx, UPS, and DHL have all benefited from the growth of online shopping. Amazon even built its own delivery network, saving billions in shipping costs. Social commerce is now combining social media with shopping. Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest have all added shopping features. Influencers honestly earn millions promoting products to their followers. Financial technology really disrupted traditional banking and honestly created a whole new wave of billionaires. The Collison brothers, for example, built Stripe into a $95 billion company that processes online payments. Max Levchin, he co-founded PayPal and later went on to create Affirm. Digital payments have basically eliminated cash transactions. Square, for instance, revolutionized small business payments by introducing card readers that just plug into smartphones. PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App now process hundreds of billions in transactions every year. Cryptocurrency, well, that created entirely new asset classes. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and thousands of other cryptocurrencies are worth trillions combined. Early investors and exchange founders became billionaires almost overnight. Robo-advisors have automated investment management too. Companies like Betterment and Wealthfront manage billions in assets using algorithms instead of human advisors. Lower fees attract millions of customers. Buy now, pay later services just exploded during the pandemic. Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm let consumers split purchases into installments. These companies earn fees from merchants and interest from consumers. Mobile banking has eliminated the need for physical branches. Chime, Revolut, and Nubank serve millions of customers entirely through smartphone apps. Lower overhead costs mean better rates and services. Neobanks are targeting underserved markets. Companies like Chime focus on people who traditional banks tend to ignore. They offer features like early direct deposit and automatic savings. Biotechnology is creating solutions for some of humanity's biggest health challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic really showed just how valuable biotech companies can become. Moderna's vaccine, for example, generated $18 billion in revenue in just 1 year. Gene therapy now treats diseases at the genetic level. Companies like Gilead Sciences charge hundreds of thousands for treatments that actually cure previously incurable diseases. When you can save lives, price kind of becomes secondary. Personalized medicine tailors treatments to individual patients. 23andMe collects genetic data from millions of customers, and this data enables development of targeted therapies worth billions. Medical devices are improving quality of life too. Companies like Medtronic make pacemakers, insulin pumps, and surgical robots, and these devices generate recurring revenue from maintenance and supplies. Digital health platforms now connect patients with doctors remotely. Teladoc processes millions of virtual consultations. The pandemic really accelerated adoption of telehealth services. Pharmaceutical research requires massive investments, but it can generate enormous returns. Successful drugs can generate billions in revenue over their patent life. Big pharma companies regularly pay billions to acquire promising biotech startups. Electric vehicles have turned Elon Musk into the world's richest person. Tesla proved that EVs could be both profitable and desirable. Now, every automaker is racing to electrify their fleets. Battery technology is really driving the EV revolution. Companies that master battery chemistry and manufacturing are set to dominate multiple industries. Tesla's battery technology isn't just powering cars but also homes and grid storage systems. Charging infrastructure is creating new revenue streams as well. Companies like ChargePoint install charging stations and collect fees from users. As EVs become mainstream, charging networks are just becoming more valuable. Solar energy has finally reached cost parity with fossil fuels. Companies like First Solar and SunPower manufacture panels that generate clean electricity cheaper than coal or gas. Government incentives are accelerating adoption too. Energy storage is solving renewable energy's biggest problem. Solar panels don't work at night, and wind turbines don't work without wind. Battery systems store excess energy for use when renewables aren't producing. Grid modernization requires massive infrastructure investments. Smart grids use sensors and software to optimize electricity distribution. Companies providing these technologies are benefiting from increased utility spending. These industries all share three common characteristics that honestly create billionaires. First, they solve massive problems that affect millions or even billions of people. Second, they scale globally with minimal additional costs. Third, they create competitive advantages that are really tough to replicate. The key to building wealth in these industries isn't just about picking the right sector. You need to understand the underlying economics, spot emerging trends early, and position yourself where the most value is created. Some industries, like space exploration, require enormous capital investments. Others, like e-commerce or fintech, can be started with relatively small amounts. The important thing is to focus on industries with exponential growth potential. Technology is transforming every industry on this list. AI is making biotechnology more efficient. Blockchain is enabling new financial services. Electric vehicles are benefiting from advances in battery technology. The winners will be those who combine multiple technological trends. The next decade is set to create more billionaires than the previous century combined. Artificial intelligence, space exploration, and biotechnology are just getting started. Climate change, aging populations, and space exploration are going to create enormous business opportunities. The biggest fortunes are built during times of massive change. We're living through multiple technological revolutions at the same time. The question isn't whether new billionaires will emerge from these industries, it's whether you'll position yourself to be one of them.